I'm Lewis. This is Jerome. Make sure you guys are subbed to the channel and make sure you guys are following us on all social media platforms. The Niche Talk drops every Monday at 6 p.m. EST.
Eastern, if you don't know.
Okay.
I mean, EST, people could have thought it was like Spanish or something.
Spanish?
Como es?
Before we get started, bro, did you know that, well, context, my vacuum's like old at this point, right? Mm-hmm. And as an adult, you get excited about the little things, about, like getting a new appliance, right?
Hell yeah.
So I go on Dyson, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me why they got a vacuum called the Humdinger.
Okay, let's hear it.
There's nothing more past that. It's just, bro, and it's handheld.
He's want to let me know that it's a vacuum called the Humdinger.
Bro, and it's handheld. Do you think these brands are doing these things on purpose now? Because we've been seeing a lot of sus shit lately. In general,
it's like,
when
hey,
it comes
if
to brands,
somebody don't buy it, they're going to at least look because of the name.
Yeah. So just I'm sure your mind goes elsewhere when you hear what the Humdinger
that's
do
crazy. And it's handheld. Wow. Okay, Dyson.
Good job, Dyson. Good job.
Marketing
Dyson.
department is on point.
Yeah, so that was just something that had me cracking the fuck up before you got here, and I just had to share that with you.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yes. So on that note, welcome to another episode of The Niche Talk. As always, I'm Lewis, a.k.a. I'm Ill Vibe, across all social media platforms, and to my left, as always, we have Jerome, 2-5 shooter. He's not late today. We were all late today.
I mean, you live here.
And now it's still late.
That's crazy.
So we're going to get right into things, as we always do. What are you going to do first?
I'm going to break down the fit.
Yeah, break that joint down, bro. Let's talk about it.
So, on the feet, we have the Olympic sevens, but for the love of the game.
Oh, you got the little heart on the...
got
the
little heart.
The heart. Loving basketball.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yes.
Pants, a thrift find. These are actually samples from American Apparel.
Ooh.
$20. Ooh. Nice cargo. Shout out to Will for the location with all the good shit.
Forgot about American Apparel.
You feel me? On the shirt, Dre did it. He reached out to me, wanted to send me some stuff. I'm pretty sure you have a Dr. Doom.
Yes, I do. I do have a Dr. Doom.
From him. Fire. I had a choice between that and this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not a Dodgers fan, but still like Shohei, so boom. And it goes with the Shohei Dodgers from AMS. And I want to say home game. Yeah. Had to make sure I solidified that before you be like, are you asking me?
I mean, that sounded like a question right there.
It did. It pivoted. It was a question, then I reassured myself. So, yeah, that's the fit. I'm very L.A. looking today.
Yeah, you're very, very tonal in the blue category.
Yeah,
I love it.
Clues.
I am also going to break down the fit today. I will start with the Hat Club Sinister pack that just came out. And this is the Craven. Mm-hmm. Really fire. Probably my favorite, especially it's like a minor league. You don't really see it too often. On the body, we got the Kith Toronto tee. It's like the signature t-shirt from the Toronto store that they dropped. And Uniform Studios on the bottoms. My favorite cargos to date, and people always asking me where I get them from. It's Uniform Studios, people. Y'all need to just do a restock at this point because everybody keeps asking, and we all love a good cargo. And then on feet, we have the Lost and Founds. Starting to cook them a little bit. The creases are starting to set in, and I love that.
I'm really glad you found them, though. Really, really glad you found them. Where'd you lose them at?
And then not on body because it's not cool enough is the Spark Trends.
You can make it cool enough.
Yeah.
Pull that fit off, bro. Put that joint on.
Oh, no. The fit was pulled off. I did a get ready with me.
In the crib, though, right?
In the crib. I did not leave the house. You didn't melt.
All right, cool.
I did not leave the house. So, yeah, Spark Trends, Mugiwara jacket that you gifted me. And I feel like it just goes perfect with the tones and the fit.
I mean, technically, they gifted it to
We got two jokes. Let's talk about what today's topic is.
So, we can talk about, I guess, the rise or fall of Marvel. Are they falling off, Especially with, Deadpool just dropped and that's doing numbers. Broke a few records, if I'm not mistaken.
Records, yes.
So, let's talk about it.
I mean,
you and Will saw it last.
Yeah. So we're still riding high. Disclaimer, if this is a spoiler for you, that's very unfortunate. The movie's been out almost a week, and if you haven't seen it, swipe, don't swipe, not our problem.
We'll put a disclaimer right here, spoiler alert.
I'm not gonna put the disclaimer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So now y'all know if this gets spoiled, that means you wasn't fucking paying attention because I'm talking about it and he just talked about it. And yeah.
Yeah. So for a while, Marvel was definitely fumbling. I feel like it's been, and this is just my perspective, because Marvel fans are more ruthless than Phillies fans, in my opinion. And there's not that many people more ruthless than Philly sports fans. So for a while, Marvel has been declining, in my opinion, and I think ever since Endgame, ever since we lost Tony Stark, like it just wasn't the same for me, and it was very obvious to see their attempts at just like staying relevant and staying persistent to like branching out in different realms, but it just wasn't hitting the same. It wasn't hitting the same for me, and I don't remember the last Marvel movie I went to go see, because it just wasn't, the excitement wasn't there anymore. I feel like once you got rid of Iron Man, it was just like, fuck, bro.
I feel that. Like for me, it was, I don't think they necessarily fell off. I think people became extremely picky.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because of the turn and burn and how much content they were like throwing in our faces. Because like when I look at a lot of the movies, do I think they all like are Endgame or like Winter Soldier, Civil War type vibes and stuff like that? No. But would I say that a lot of them were bad, like a lot of people say? I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I just would say that it's not as good as this movie, but you have to put it in order. You can't just say, "Oh, this was equally as good as that." No, like you're going to like one better.
You can't compare all the movies, because not everything's gonna be an Endgame.
Right. Now there was some stuff that wasn't as good. Like I know they branched to the TV shows. Like was it WandaVision?
WandaVision was fire, in my opinion.
It started out slow, and then it ended pretty good to me.
Yeah,
and that tied into Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, exactly.
That was cool. Favorite is still Loki.
Loki was
executed proofily. Executed
first
proofily?
executed.
Executed proofily. No, like it was executed perfectly.
My guy out here like Biden.
Nah, if I was like Biden, I'd have been like, it was executed perfectly, and you would have said, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Huh? What are we talking about?" Wait. Who are you? Why are we here?
Okay.
Did you kidnap me?
So Loki.
Yeah, Loki, fire. Winter Soldier and Falcon was.
That was a fumble.
It was okay.
That was a fumble. I understood the transition.
Yeah, they needed to.
They needed to do that. And speaking on the whole Captain America Falcon situation, I get it from like the comic standpoint, like the story that they're telling, but like I just can't see the bull with the shield, man. I think I'm too invested in the character growth of Steve Rogers and Chris Evans being, because he played it so well.
On your left.
On your left is crazy. And it's the same with Iron Man. I think I'm just too locked into them being who they were for so long that it's just like weird to see it without them. And it was a beautiful thing to see Chris Evans in Deadpool and Wolverine, because at first, like, you didn't know who he was coming in as.
They tried to make it seem like it was Iron Man, but when they just showed like the.
You mean Captain America?
Shit. What the fuck is going on? All right, it's too early. It's not even 12 o'clock yet.
It is 12:15.
No, 12:16 actually. So we both wrong.
Okay.
Just chalk that up.
I rounded down.
It's one of them days.
Now it's 12:17. All right, but look, in the movie, you didn't know who he was coming out as. Once you heard his voice, you were like, "Oh shit, is it going to be Cap?"
They showed the sleeve and stuff, and they tried to make it seem like it was Captain America.
Yeah, but I think I'm just too invested in their character growth throughout the series of Marvel, where it doesn't seem right to me for Falcon to have the shield. It just doesn't work. I feel like it's being forced, but like I said, I understand it from the story and the comic and everything that they're trying to like lead on with that.
So I feel like a lot of people. So there's the extreme fans, and then there's the people that are just into a good movie, and you kind of watch the TV show, or maybe you did watch it fully, and that's where it comes in with what you just mentioned. Whereas though, like, oh, okay, like I understand it might be going with the comics, but it just doesn't feel right. Everything that's been done in all of the movies is based on the comics. You just don't like the way that it took a turn to.
Yeah.
But this is what's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
They can't just say, oh, well, the fans don't want it, so you know what? We're keeping Steve Rogers as Captain America because nobody wants Sam to take over. No, he's supposed to be Captain America. Like, that's how it goes. He's supposed to be Captain America. Just like at some point on the other side of the spectrum with DC, guess what? There's going to be a Black Green Lantern. Like, that's
a fact.
That's the reality.
That's a fact.
You feel me? So
exactly.
It's like, that's what's going on with everything.
You have to pass down the mantle. I get it. I totally get it. I wholeheartedly think I'm one of those fans that I'm not into the comics like that. I didn't grow up with the comics. I knew of them and I read some, but like I am not a diehard like Marvel comic guy. I didn't have that like influence growing up. So it wasn't introduced to me until later on in life where like I introduced myself to all of that kind of stuff. So I'm behind and all that kind of stuff. But I am a fan of a good movie that just like tells the story properly and gets some really good animation, some good graphics, and some good laughs. Now, like I said, Deadpool and Wolverine, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. From the rip, this man was fucking dancing to NSYNC in the intro.
Moves was crazy.
The moves was wild. And just like the visual effects for this movie, I feel as though we haven't seen that in a while with Marvel, in my opinion, to that caliber.
Right.
I just think back to like Doctor Strange when that first dropped, and that shit had everybody at the edge of their seat with how far they pushed the envelope of visual effects. It was a beautiful thing.
It's so the core of the topic, like, are they like falling off? Like, is it like kind of like the end? And I feel like it's not. With Deadpool, for me, it was refreshing to see the way that they attacked it to leave the door open for so much more.
I agree.
And I like how this tied into the other movies. Like, you know, the, what was it, the Outlands? What do they call it in there?
The Badlands?
No, not the Badlands.
Oh, the Void?
The Void.
Yeah, the Void.
You said the Badlands.
Void.
I said Outlands. You said the Badlands. We was all fucked up.
Sorry.
The Void. But
yeah,
it's like a lot of people, if you just watch the movie to watch it, you're not going to understand what it is. But if you watch Loki, then
you understood. Yeah,
you understand.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then it's like all the cameos that popped up. I was fanboying.
Oh, yo.
100%.
I have always been a fan of Gambit. Like, he is, like, probably, like, in my top 5 of, like, superheroes.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. Because this was tied into that, and we know that Gambit, obviously Wolverine and Deadpool and them, like, honoraries and trying and stuff. Your top 3 X-Men.
Top 3 X-Men? Damn. Okay, Gambit, for sure. I'm going to have to say Nightcrawler. And why am I blanking on this name, bro? Quicksilver. I've always been the type, like, Speed, like, Super Speed was always a favorite of mine. And the way they animated Quicksilver in that one X-Men movie, beautifully done. And I hate the fact that he died. I hate the fact that Quicksilver's, like, technically dead. But
I did hate that. It's like they needed him to die so Wanda can have that much more emotion.
I just love the fact that we are now in a time where, like, the mutants and X-Men are finally, like, coming together with Marvel, because for so long they just couldn't be mentioned in the same fucking sentence without, like, lawsuits. And speaking of which, the jokes on Fox, the entire Deadpool movie were on par, bro.
Bro, epic.
On par.
The execution of the jokes and, like, how some of them was subtle.
Very subtle.
And then some was, like, super direct.
Yeah.
And the way it was put was just, it was phenomenal.
All right, so top 3 for you, mutants.
For me, number 1 was always Wolverine.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Cross. It was like, I had multiple number 2s.
Yeah.
But it was definitely Nightcrawler / Gambit. And then my number 3 was also like me trying to figure out between, what's her name? Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
And what was the other dude name? He didn't get a lot of time, but it's from the comics as well. Archangel.
Archangel. Oh, I forgot about that boy. Yeah, he gives me like Hawks vibes from My Hero Academia. I forgot about Archangel. He was gas. He was fire.
Jubilee honorable mention.
Yeah, you have to.
Jubilee / Rogue. It was.
Yeah.
I know people like, why didn't you say Storm? Like, she's the black character.
Oh, here we go.
Storm was gas. But, yeah. But we talking about X-Men 97.
That's the new John, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
Gas, bro.
What streaming service is that on? Because I don't have that. I cannot afford all these streaming services, bro.
How quickly that came out.
I cannot.
I don't have that.
I don't
what
have
do you
that.
have, Louis?
The beauty of Marvel, in my opinion, because everything always ties back to shoes for us, right? Mm-hmm. I love just how well Kith and Ronnie Feig have iterated Marvel in his past drops, and we now have...
Wait, how do you say his last name?
Feig?
Feig?
Yeah. Ronnie Feig.
All right, cool.
People say Feig.
Yeah, I was about to say, I always heard Feig, but I'm like, I don't really know.
I've heard Feig, and I say Feig.
You need to watch like a documentary and see what somebody say.
I'm going to just say Ronnie.
Ronnie
Kith.
F.
Ronnie F. Yeah, so Kith and Ronnie, I feel as though he did a beautiful job at this upcoming release for the Marvel pack. It has to do with villains, but then he sprinkled in a Spider-Man.
Bro.
Right? Which one's your favorite?
Those Venoms?
The Venom, yes, the Venom, bro. The Venom is the best one in my opinion.
I see a lot of people say that they like the Silver Surfer the best.
And that is because everyone is very much in their neutral phase. Like they want footwear that just
the Venom
just
is also still very neutral.
But
it's primarily black with like the purplish. Like
a lot of people avoid a predominantly black shoe these days. I've realized that because it just
feels too worky.
Yeah, it gives back to school vibes. It gives like I have to wear all black
kitchen
shoes.
Line,
yeah, exactly.
Chefing it up.
But
yeah.
but the Kith filter is strong with this one.
I need to see a review from somebody.
The Kith filter is strong because somebody shared at Comic-Con the 2-pack of the Spider-Man and Venoms, and that's when it was confirmed that, okay, if you want the Venom, you have to get the Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I don't want the Spider-Man.
They're not bad, but
they're not bad.
It's not something where I'm looking to actually get.
Who wants to buy 2 pairs? But shout out to Jordan. Me and him talked. He wants the Spider-Mans. So I told him we could split the pack if I'm able to actually obtain
I'm going to go for him, and then you're going to see no box Spider-Man Agents for sale.
Facts, exactly. But the way he painted the picture and told the story with this, it shows the attention to detail from a designer standpoint, because we've seen previous collaborations with Marvel with other brands, and they just went super gimmicky. Like Adidas, time and time again, when they do collaborations, not only with Marvel but with Dragon Ball Z, with any collaboration that Adidas does, they overexert, hit the nail on the coffin with that shit. Like they overdo it to the point where
they go too literal.
Yeah, way too literal. But Kith, they did a beautiful job at keeping things very subtle and like diversified. I love it. I'd have to say Venom. The Venom pair is easily my favorite pair.
100%.
Yeah.
For me, it's Venom, Silver Surfer, and did they have a Green Goblin?
Yeah, the Green Goblin pair. Yeah, it's like a green translucent. Like it fades to like the cream.
I'm not sure what that looks like. I'm thinking about it. I only remember the Spider-Man, the Venom, and the Silver Surfer, like what it looks like off the top. The Green Goblin, I'm not too sure. I got to see that.
Yeah, the Green Goblin was like a green to cream transition.
And they're all different ASICS models, right?
Nah, I think they're all GT2160s. Like the one in like the Earl's Collection one that I got. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
and those are comfortable as
the only company I can say that actually did collab justice or brand that does justice is probably ASICS.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because I remember they had like the one Kakashi shoe. I forget what model it was. That was pretty dope.
The Naruto
ones.
Yeah,
like,
beautiful. Beautiful execution.
Not over the top. Chef's kiss on everything.
But yeah, if you guys want to see a really bad collaboration, go to Adidas. Just go to Adidas and see any collaboration they've done.
Wait, they had a One Piece collab, didn't they?
I think so.
Because I remember, wasn't it like a Gear 5 and all the other shit?
No, that was Puma. That was Puma.
Okay.
Puma did that subtly. Puma did that subtly, I will say.
They do pretty solid as well.
Yeah.
It's just not the best models.
Yeah. Puma doesn't really have the best models out there. It's hard for them.
I mean,
honestly.
there are, was it the RX?
The RSX, yeah, the
It's
RSX,
pretty-
yeah, that's a
solid.
calm one, yeah, for sure. Back to the rise and fall of Marvel. To wrap things up, I'd say, I think that for a while now, they hit their plateau, and it's because of how hard they went with Endgame, and it created that expectation in people to just keep going in that positive trajectory. And to people, a lot of people, I feel as though they just like, they capped at that and they were never able to exceed that. So now they just have to go off on different realms of like doing that well so that they can just keep people's interest. And I think they did that beautifully with Deadpool.
I feel that.
Like, I feel like now this is the rise, because now we have Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
How do you feel about that? Because you know more about the comics than I do.
I'm fine with it because obviously we're in the multiverse era.
Exactly.
And there is a Dr. Doom Iron Man.
Yeah.
Now, how they plan to tell the story, that
We
I don't
don't know.
know. So that's going to determine everything. If it's just that he's just a variant, then to me that would be kind of weird. But if I remember correctly, I know at one point Dr. Doom actually became, I'm pretty sure he became Iron Man for a while.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it recently, obviously. There were two comics that Marvel can go in terms of route where instead of, what was Mr. Fantastic's name?
Reed Richards.
Yeah, so instead of like rooming with Reed Richards, he actually roomed with Stark. And then he ended up switching minds with Tony. Mm-hmm. So then it ended up being Doom's brain in Tony's body, and then so he became Iron Man and Doctor Doom at the same time. And then there's the other comic where like it's Iron Man that becomes Doctor Doom because of some factors that I do not know. So I know that there's like two ways.
I think it's flipped. Doctor Doom becomes Iron Man.
Okay.
There is a comic where Iron Man becomes Doctor Doom.
Yeah, there's
So it's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, hold up,
It's a bunch of shit. Because there is, I know, I seen somebody post like a picture of the like the more futuristic.
It's Iron Man becoming Doctor Doom. Is that what you said? Damn, I already drew a blank.
No, I said
Crazy.
Doctor Doom taking over the mantle of Iron Man, but that's the thing as well.
Yeah.
So it's like
there's so many ways that they can take this.
But the main thing people were talking about, they was like, well, is he playing Doctor Doom or is he taking on the mantle of the character Victor?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And that's when people was like, well, if that's the case, then they might have fucked up.
But
they didn't say anything. It just said fucking Doom.
Yeah.
And he took the mask off and it's like, oh, it's RDJ.
I'm just happy that Robert Downey Jr. is back. That's
well, a lot of people aren't happy that he's back because he's now a villain. But it's the multiverse.
Yeah, it's the multiverse. Who knows what the fuck is gonna happen? Because I'm excited that he's back in general.
Right.
Because he's literally the reason we have Marvel in its limelight now, in my opinion. Like without Iron Man, I feel like without Iron Man, we wouldn't be where we are in the Marvel verse in terms of movies. You don't think that? Because before Iron Man, what really was there for Marvel movies?
I mean, I know we're not talking about Marvel as far as the company running it, but I'm just talking about Marvel in general.
I'm just talking about the movies.
I'm talking about Marvel in general, like Marvel.
Okay.
That predates that is everyone was fucking in love with X-Men. That's how we got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
You're right.
And hear me out. Before that, people don't want to admit it, but Blade was fucking straightforward and like paved the way. Like, oh wait, so you mean Marvel and these heroes we don't have to have like gimmicky Batman and Superman movies? Like he out here fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And then that led into boom, X-Men, which we all loved.
X-Men was great, but I feel like it didn't hit numbers and it didn't create a trajectory like Iron Man did. I feel like Iron Man opened up the scope for the entire universe, in my opinion. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Where like, I'm not discrediting Blade. I'm not discrediting the ones that made it possible for Iron Man to catapult Marvel. But I really do feel as though like without Robert Downey Jr. and how well he played Iron Man and those Iron Man movies, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
100%. Because I definitely feel like at some point, I was telling, I think you will, that I feel like they were doing Spider-Man a disservice by having Tony in it from the beginning and then kind of phasing him out. I'm like, he didn't really have a chance to bloom like on his own. It was like, I know for a fact I was watching it because I was like, it was a bunch of fucking dope Iron Man scenes.
That is very true. But the Spider-Man movies were gas in my
opinion. No, they were gas, but then I'm just like, if you remove Tony and Iron Man from the story,
like how much of it was it really like Iron Man?
Because I think the first one was like damn near almost, might as well say almost like a collab movie.
Yeah, very much so. I could see that.
And then the second one, he was in there, but not as much. You know, he sent the suit and stuff, but they still had the cameos and stuff from him like popping up throughout the movie. So
yeah.
All right, so we can end this topic, right?
Yeah,
wrap it up.
We can wrap it up.
But to wrap it up, what's your favorite 2 recent Marvel movies? I already know one of them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Say it though.
I mean, you just saw it.
Oh yeah, Deadpool easily. Deadpool and Wolverine was easily. I've always been a fan of Deadpool, like, and Ryan Reynolds and the way he carries that character. It is literally just like he was born.
The way he carries himself. Period.
Yeah, exactly. That's tricky. Winter Soldier.
I say recent.
Oh, recent? Damn. I just thought overall.
Yeah, we talk about overall. That's a different conversation.
But the thing is, I don't even remember what Marvel movies I've seen since Endgame. I don't even think I saw Black Panther, the second one. I don't even think I saw that.
It was alright.
Yeah, see, like, so I can't really go off of recent because I don't remember it. So I'm just gonna stick with Deadpool and Winter Soldier. I'm changing your question to overall.
Hey yo.
What about you?
Deadpool is definitely one, and the other for me, I would say Shang-Chi.
I definitely did see that.
Because for me, that was one of the
best
a really good movie. Character introductions.
That was a really good movie, so I'll steal that. So we got the same bet. We are on the same page.
But yeah, that brings us to our next topic.
Yes.
Which is something very touchy for both of us, honestly.
Very, very touchy for both of us.
So if you're a creator out there, this may hit home for you, and you'll definitely resonate with what we're about to talk about.
So that means tune the fuck in.
Yes.
Strap in.
So on that note, we want to talk about the kind of stigma and the negative outlook on creators being entrepreneurs and how it's kind of looked at as we are not actually like employed, or this isn't our business, because people maybe look at it like, oh, well, you're just making a video, or, you're just doing a review, or, you're just putting on your outfit in front of a camera or something along the lines. It's not looked at as serious. Whereas though if you was to come out and be like, hey, I decided to start my own carpentry business, or, to start my own firm, people gonna be like, oh, you're a business owner. Like, good job, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference between that, like carpentry, and like, or a law firm, right? Where from the rip, you need some type of like, I guess like brick and mortar. You need like some type of quote unquote office, or you're providing like physical work, right? I think that's where people like get the misunderstanding, where I'm not giving people grace, because it pisses me off when someone says I'm unemployed, right? I'm not unemployed, I'm self-employed. There's a difference, right? You weren't here for the blood, sweat, and tears that I put in to get to where I'm at now. So when I tell people that I have an LLC, that I have like an actual business, they're like, "Oh, really? Yeah, I'm certified." Like, I'm not just an individual doing this. And granted, you don't necessarily need an LLC to state that you out here getting work done and you're putting in work with these brands, but it solidifies it, and it makes it that much more important, like at least to yourself, to know that you're doing it the right way and having a business behind it. But to just flat out state that like what we do in terms of content creation and networking, and there's so many different facets to what we do. Like there's like It's us, and we're the umbrella to like everything that we branch out to. Like we are the business. The individual is the business. So you can't just say that we don't have a job. We are literally wearing every fucking hat. Meanwhile, you're working a 9 to 5. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5.
Right.
But you literally have one job. You clock in, do your job, and go home, and you get to enjoy your life. Solid. We have many steps that we have to do the moment we wake up, depending on how hard we want to go for our business. So it's not a 9 to 5. It's a 24/7, a 25/8.
365.
For you, it's infinity.
Damn, Infinity Stones.
So it's just disrespectful. It's really disrespectful to just like, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize it when they say it because they don't understand. It's like people that don't really understand the sneaker culture and how big of an industry that is, right? Like when people see you selling shoes for thousands of dollars and they just fucking wear Converse and Vans and they don't know anything about this.
I feel like the older generation doesn't mean it disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's just a
Younger.
way of life for them and they don't really understand it. But I feel like the younger generation, it's 100% meant with like disrespect and ill intent. Not with every person,
Right.
but it does. Like I can't name that how many times I've seen, and you probably seen as well. You may see like it was this thing going around. It was a dude, I think, going like the Target shopping, and his videos was like blowing up, and all the comments and places that was posting about it was literally people talking shit like, "This nigga wake up and go to Target and do this and that, and that, like acting like a fucking female, acting like a woman, because that's the mindset, right?" And I chimed in a few times. I don't know the dude from a can of paint. I'm just like, wait, so because he found a way to market himself as the business and brands are paying him 10, 5, whatever he's making to go do this, you take issue with that. But yet you praise and you cool with a motherfucker going to stand on the corner and sell drugs and risk being locked up, possibly killed. Obviously you're selling drugs to somebody who will use, so you're harming them.
Yeah.
You cool with that, right? But dude, that he's acting like a bitch, as they say, because he's on video getting dressed, going shopping, and recording it.
It's also, in my opinion, I think about it now, it's the people that felt as though they were not able to obtain their dream job or like their dream lifestyle, right? You're hating on someone that is able to wake up, create their own schedule, do what they want, have a passion for what they want to do, and make money off of it. Yet you have to wake up to all of your problems, go clock into a job you don't want to work at, deal with people you don't care about, and waste away at life. There's so many people in this world that just are stuck in a routine because they're stuck in their own mindset and they know that they can achieve more, but they're not going to achieve more.
Oh, and that's the problem. It's not that they can't achieve more, they don't know they can.
They won't.
They can't fathom the idea that you can do something other than the norm.
Correct.
And that's where the older generation comes in. I understand it from their point of view, because if you were to tell them when they were coming up that you can go record videos in your living room talking about the latest drink you picked up from Wawa, and Wawa would pay you $10,000 because you got a lot of followers, they look at like, what?
Bro, I wish I can go back to like when I was a kid and where social media just like started, and just like having the knowledge I have now, and like just like forcing my mom to like maybe like, Mom, let's just like all the toys that I have, bro, the Transformers, the Megazords, all of that shit. Like if I were to just like set up a camera like and do toy reviews.
Yeah, like
bro, they blow up. Like kids doing toy reviews right now on YouTube, and the older generation, you have to convince them. They have to see the fruits of your labor.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. They have to see it to believe it, which is unfortunate, because my mom, it took her a while before she was able to see this part of me and like being able to really just maintain my lifestyle. And I realized that it kind of like hurts her at the same time because she now realizes she wasn't able to obtain like a version of her dreams because she felt as though she had to do the social norm of get a job, sustain a lifestyle for my family, and fuck my passion, fuck whatever dreams I had.
Yeah. The older generation is, it sounds fucked up, but I call it the generation of hopes and wishes and forgotten dreams.
Oof. That's
and
strong. That's strong.
Not in a negative ways, because I know growing up, my parents weren't necessarily supportive. You hear kids all the time, oh, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be an artist and stuff. And, us as parents, okay, cool, great. But in the back of our mind, it's a lot of us aren't like, well, that's what you want to do. That's what you're going to be. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that becomes a reality for you.
Yeah, facts.
That's how I'm trying to be with my kids. But to your point, like, like the situation with your mom, it's not nothing bad or ill intent from them. It's just they were raised a certain way as well.
Yep.
So it's the trickle down effect. And like I said, it's mind boggling to them. To this day, my pop, he's gotten with it now.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, I'm gonna be a photographer, and, I'm gonna create, content, this and that and that, looked at me like I was fucking crazy. But now, like you said, because you can see it, he always let me know, like, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad you just stuck with it and stuff like that. Who the fuck thought that we'd be sitting here making thousands and thousands of dollars off of simple videos for a brand and this and that and that?
And we say simple
because of the skill set and the time we put in to make it simple.
Correct. We're not downplaying our process here, but it's simple because of the back end of things, how long we've been doing this. You got to get your mind out the gutter, bro.
I mean, you said it, bro. It's just the way it just, yeah. Yeah. I've been hanging around Steph too long, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's just the reality of it. We learn, we move forward, and that stigma of we don't have a job, it bugs me out. And I noticed you was talking about, like, lawyers and certain things like that, like they have like usually a storefront or something along the lines.
Like an office.
But even then, like, it's like not really, because a lot of people that start like their own construction or cleaning or whatever, a lot of them don't have an actual physical office. They're usually a mobile service or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's because people are so used to seeing a person in uniform or some sort of labor type job. And, especially, oh, well, if you're not doing physical labor, you're not a man, right? So it's weird when we can talk about things like, oh, well, I have my LLC. Like, I had my LLC for 7 years. Had a sole proprietorship long before that. I've been paying taxes to the government for my businesses and my income for the longest.
Yeah.
I got a business bank account. I got a business credit card. I have business credit. I have opportunity for business loans. My business credit is, like all that stuff. Like I have fucking shit where as though I can get like government contracts through my business and stuff like that. So what do you mean? Like you say, like, what do you mean I'm unemployed?
Yeah, what are we really saying here?
Right, like what do you mean I don't have a job? Like you said, I am my job. I am my business. I found a way to market myself to make money off of myself the same way as an actor or another person, which technically a creative in their own respect. You build yourself a certain way to be able to get a certain source of income.
Yeah.
That's why they have, like, what is it, A-list and B-list and C-list? Because who's getting the most money?
A-list.
The A-list. That don't mean other people not doing the same thing, but you marketed yourself and people want to pay you for your likeness.
For the longest time, anything in the creative realm has been somewhat looked down on in terms of like respect or achieving your goals. I feel as though anybody in the creative realm, and that's a very broad spectrum.
Very broad.
I feel like you have to put in so much more work to get the same recognition as the typical lawyers, doctors, all that kind of stuff. Because you need to create a community of people that actually have faith in you as a creative. You need to actually build that community from the ground up. Because, yeah, you can just come out and be like, all right, yo, I started this business. I paint shit, right? But if you straight up just tell people, yo, I just went through like 12 years of school to become a doctor, and out the gate, I'm cashing in $1 million a year, straight praise, right? Yeah. Straight praise. But you can put those same 12 years in as an artist and still get no fucking recognition or no praise, or people still think you don't have a job and you're just doing something passionate or it's a hobby. No. No.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro. But like, to play devil's advocate on the flip side of it, I will say I do understand people that come from it of the angle where so many people are doing it. How can I look at it as a job when anybody can just do it like anytime? Like, I mean, like, you don't gotta go get hired, employed from an employer, should I say, to be a photographer, to, you know, be a social media presence.
You don't have to go to school. You don't need a degree.
You just go do it.
Right.
Like, if somebody wakes up today and like, you know what? I think I want to create content. They can go do it. Now, not saying you're going to be good at it. That's the problem right there.
Yep.
Not saying you're going to be good at it, but we are definitely in a field that's extremely saturated.
Extremely.
But again, on the flip side of that, like, the whole terminology of work or having a job, that every field is also saturated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like you said, every job has their A-lister, B-lister, C-lister, right? Yeah. And that's just how it goes with the creative field too. So if you have a homie that is passionate about being a creative, don't downplay their journey. Don't downplay their
That can make or break somebody, honestly.
Yeah, that's a fact. Or that can get you punched in the face.
Yeah, depending on how much violence that person embraces. But it's
a tricky subject to talk about, especially if you're not comfortable with like your confidence, right? If you're just starting out, right, and somebody just says like, you don't got no job. Yeah. That could really tarnish someone's goal. That could tarnish someone's journey from the rip, and they just started.
Yeah, emotions are no joke. So on that note, I will say this. If you do not understand something, don't be ignorant to it. Take a moment, ask questions, you know?
Do some research.
Yeah, you can't find what you're looking for? Find someone that's doing it. Like, Lewis is a creator. He does photography, video, modeling here and there. We wear many hats. If you want to know something, ask. Don't be ignorant and, you know, start telling people what they do and don't do or what they should or shouldn't be doing. Because that's not the way to go. Because, one, you make yourself look like a dickhead.
Yep.
And you also can push people away. And sometimes I understand a lot of people do these things not because they mean to be malicious, it's because they don't know, so therefore they're coming off a certain way. Exactly. So just bite your tongue, ask questions to understand and not to respond.
That part.
And I feel like you'll be pretty solid with the responses you get back of people telling you how things work and how to maneuver and do certain things. And you'll definitely have a better understanding of us as creatives and how we do things and how we are the business, or how we do have businesses, and how we pay taxes just like the next person, and everything you can possibly think of.
And that was our free game segment of this episode.
We haven't done free game in a while.
We have not done free game in a while. I'll spit some free game and then we can wrap things up.
All right.
If you are an individual that feels as though you need to talk down on somebody's work ethic and goals and journey, look within. Yeah. Right? And understand that if you're not happy where you are in life, you have every right to get up and go do something else. Do not fall into the societal trap of thinking you have to stay where you are to maintain your means. It is very much possible for you to get up, do something different with your life, and just start over every single day. You can just get up and go somewhere new and be a completely different person. But society has taught us to like, no, we have to stay where we're at. We have to do what we're told, and we have to like just work our way up the corporate ladder of bullshit. But no. So if you're gonna talk down on somebody in their journey, look within, like I said, and see what's not going right in your life, and see what you can change. Because I'm pretty sure there's some things you can change to be more positive and to be happier about your outlook on life, so that you don't have to feel as though you have to talk down to people to make yourself feel good.
Yeah. So. And don't take this as Lou was saying, if you're not happy, just leave and go do something else. Like, there's context to that.
Of course
like,
there is.
If you're able to do such, then do it. If you're not in a situation where you can just get up and leave your job because you're not happy, obviously don't go fuck up your livelihood and your family or whatever the case may be in search of happiness.
But at the same time, take risks.
Yeah, like
take risks.
Calculated risks.
Calculated risks, yes.
Depending on your situation. Yeah, but
everyone's situation is different.
Make a decision based on what you have going on, and don't go do some shit and be like, well, Lewis said.
You could blame me all you want. That shit ain't gonna change my life.
I'm just saying, we just making sure we put that out there.
Nah, I appreciate the context. Just make sure you get out there and be the best version of yourself possible.
Meanwhile, it's this motherfucker out. It's like, no, we're not gonna do that right now.
We're gonna get to that on the next episode. Yeah. There's some tea. There's some fucking tea.
What kind of tea? Is it like herbal tea?
Whatever tea you want to drink.
It's hot tea. It's
hot
fucking
tea.
scalding hot.
Scalding?
Yeah.
Scolding?
Scalding?
It's scolding. Scolding hot. Scalding?
Yeah. So we're both wrong. Scolding is like,
me yelling at you?
Yeah.
Yes,
and
you're
what
right.
is scalding? Nothing.
Scalding is nothing.
So I was just saying it wrong.
Yes.
All right, cool. Bet. Nothing new.
Okay.